tutorial on how I make this honey beeswax candle with the little bees on top. This tutorial is mainly focused on the whip on the top. It's probably, I would say, advanced. Is this an advanced candle? I don't know. But it's not for a beginner in terms of this is the first candle that you're planning to make. So, to prep for that, yesterday I made my base. Now, I just fill it up around 3/4, and I like to put the honeycomb beeswax sheets on. You don't have to, that's just something I really like to do. I already sell the tapered beeswax candles, so it's something I already have. And then I rolled up 2 little sticks to stick out, and I have done my decal bees, so I do them at the same time. I have done my candle and I have them all ready to go. And then we're going to make 2 coffee ones, because why not? While I'm whipping, may as well go. I made a coffee one the other day, wasn't completely happy with it, so I'm trying to like master the ratio of colour, the wax and stuff like that to try and minimise frosting with coloured wax. If you make candles already, you know that frosting or pulling away from the jar and stuff is notorious. Don't get too hung up on it. It is what it is. I find with the coffee one anyway, it does kind of look like it's a coffee if it does frost a little bit. So I'm just giving these a wipe because we're going to put the frosting in the top. And yeah, so I've got my coffee beans, super cute, ready to go. I got the molds for the coffee beans off eBay. I got the beeswax molds off eBay. These jars, this is the I can see it in my brain. It's not calendula, that's a flower. It will come to me. These are the Cambridge from Aroma. Love these. I love this curve, but they didn't have any left, and so I got these from Candle Supply. It's C-A-L. Anyway, go look them up. You'll be able to find it. Now, the fragrances I'm using, Pure Honey type from Aussie Soap Supplies. It's really nice. Sweet Honeycomb's my favourite from them, but so I'm trying to use this one up, and then Sweet Honeycomb is what I'm going to do when I start selling these. And then Fresh Coffee from Wax and Wicks. I like the Fresh Coffee from them. I like the Fresh Coffee from Heirloom Body Care. The only issue is Heirloom Body Care comes out very dark. A little bit lighter than this actually. I made a coffee candle for a customer, not realising it would come out, and so I sent a picture and said, oh my gosh, look how dark it is. I'll remake it and with a lighter coffee fragrance. She said, no, I love it because it looks like a mocha. It's perfect. So yeah, I probably wouldn't even have to use a colour if I was using that in here. It was a beautiful colour. I really liked it, so if she hadn't wanted it, I would have just kept it. Now with those, I use a 24 wick. This is one of my first test candles that I've done. You can see it's still got a little bit of wax on the sides. It's not overly sooting around the edges. I haven't wiped this or anything. I like to keep my wicks short. So I write a note to my customer saying, ensure you trim your wick, have it quite short, and then it shouldn't blacken the jar as it burns, but it may. It possibly could use a 22, but it's got to burn through a lot to get to where the candle is, and so I just find a 24 to be a little bit better. So I have everything ready. I have my piping bags ready. They're new ones I haven't used before, so we'll see how they go. I've run out of silicone ones. And this is the bowl I like to use to whip my wax because it is longer than it is wider. I learnt the hard way, if you take it from a liquid state like this and start whipping it, it will go everywhere and you'll be staying there a really long time for not much benefit. So, put my fragrance in. we're going to measure out 300 grams. I'm going to make the honey one first. Alright, then I'm going to put this back into on medium, on like quite low heat, so it should cool, but it will hopefully not cool as fast as the ones that I want to cool. If that makes any sense. So I'm just putting in my fragrance. Mix that in, and then you just gotta pour it into here. Just keep mixing it, make sure it's all. The beauty about this is you don't have to worry about air bubbles later by mixing too vigorously, because you're going to be mixing it. So I have that in there, and now you can go and do something else for a little bit and come back. So this is after 15 minutes of cooling, and so it's starting to get stuck on the edges here when you swirl it, but we just want to wait for it to go a little bit opaque before we start mixing. It's just to save yourself some time. So I would say another 10 minutes. I'll put the timer on and let you know. So this is after another 10 minutes. You can start to see it is definitely clouding over. And so I'm just going to keep giving it a stir. And then you want to scrape down these edges. So by scraping it down, you're going to get all this wax, and we add that back in. If you don't scrape it down and don't add it back in, you're going to very quickly run out of the wax that you need. So once you start having chunks like this is really difficult with one hand, but I'll do my best. Scraping that off. You can start to give it a whip. So I just have my super cheap egg beater. It's been dented in the journey. It gets really dirty. So just get one from Kmart or Target or whatever. Give it a whip. You'll just get some bubbles. It's not a problem. They will go. You can just wipe them in, don't freak out about it. Keep wiping down this, wait a few minutes, and then give it another whiz. So I've just scraped it down again and made sure I've put all the scrapings in. They're the chunks that you can see in there. And we give it another whirl. It's my timer. So I'll put another timer on for another 10 minutes. So yeah, I'd say 15 minutes, give it a scrape down, and then maybe another 6 or 7 minutes to get to this part. So then what I want to do is just scrape it down again, add it in, wait a minute or two, give it another whip. So another scrape down, another whip. You can keep whipping if you like, but it is a long and laborious process. So I suggest you just whip, scrape down, let it sit for a minute, give it a whip, and etc. until it gets to. Okay, so now it's really starting to come along, still very liquidy. So you can wait a few minutes at this stage, or you can keep scraping and whipping, totally up to you. So this is, probably you're used to seeing this as wax cools. This is what it looks like. Just want to make sure we're scraping and whipping to make sure that it's nice and creamy. And so it's just going to keep looking like this. I know it seems like a slow process, and it is, but I know people had questions last time, and so I want to make it just as clear as I can as to what it's supposed to look like. Okay, so now it's starting to look really good. It's really nice and creamy. We've added in all the stuff on the sides and whipped it up. So now we just want to wait a little bit more, get it a little bit thicker, so that when we lift it up on the spoon, it doesn't drop down. So this is the consistency you want it, nice and thick, and then we're going to put it into here. Okay, so I've got it in the piping bag. And I am just squeezing it around. I just like little dollops on the top. I make my Christmas ones a lot bigger, but postage can be really difficult. And so these ones I'm trying to do not as high. Alright, now where's my back? My back is there. So I'm going to put my decals in. I'm just going to put one here, one there, one taller than the other. I'm going to put on a bee there and a bee there. And one extra little bee at the front. Oh, I don't particularly like that bee. It's got a mark on him. I'm going to take him off. Yeet him. I'll give this one starting to harden up and put him like that. Oh, see, look, starting to come off. This is when you realise you need to make do. I wouldn't suggest those bags. You can just do what needs to happen to get your last bit, because it was coming off from the wick. Alright, if it's messy, it's messy. And it's starting to now harden too much. It's all good. I suggest you get a dress like this or a t-shirt that you can wipe everything on. Alright. Not overly happy with that, but it is what it is, and just sometimes happens. And you just got to go with it. Don't beat yourself up. Alright, that's what it looks like. And I'm going to, my little brush go, going to put on I've got a little bit of time before they set to fix, so I'm just going to put that little bee up there. And then I put on my gold sprinkles. I probably did wait a little bit too long to get that into the bag. I'm hoping the next one will be easier. I did have to stop and yell at my children, who were being very loud, and there was no way I could have filmed with them. They were being very disrespectful to each other. Okay. So, we have, turn my camera, our bee candle. Top isn't as fantastic as what I would like, but it had a little part ready to divide it, and it just had to be what it was. So there. Okay, so that's our bee candle done. Pretty cute. It's already hardened, so I'll trim the wick, and I do just have my next one for my coffee ready to go, so we'll do that one. Okay, so now we're moving on to the coffee. As I mentioned before, I'm doing these separately because the wax, as you even saw with that one, sets so quickly. You may be able to figure it out, but I cannot do these in bulk. And so they are an individual thing, but most of my products are made to order. And so I'll have a couple of them made, but I'm not too concerned if I have to make them. And I just tell the customer the lead time is a few days. So yeah, we're back to this point, and I probably won't show the whole process, just when it's ready again, just so you get another idea. Okay, so we're getting there, almost there. I'm just going to give it one more whip and then pop it in the bag. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. I'm going to quickly get it in the bag and start piping. Alright, so my candle, got my bag, let's go. With the wick. This is a different nozzle. It's a lot more textured. Don't worry, if you make a mess like that, you can fix it at the end. For some reason this bag is not doing what I want. Okay. Alright. Now I'm going to put my lens in. I definitely like the other tip better, but that's just me. It's my personal preference. I might just put one right near the wick as well. Alright. I don't think I mentioned in the video yet, but if I have I do apologise, that I use Kerasoy container wax from Aroma. Alright. Beautiful. Okay. So this is what we've got. I think because this side maybe is the best. I don't know, I'll decide later. Maybe here. I'll put my decal on the front there. This is what the top looks like. Cute. If you look here with this one, you can see makes a very different texture. Both nice, just personal preference. And now onto the next one. So I'm going to use this other tip that I did with the honey on the next coffee one, just so you have a better idea of what the two different tips look like. Totally personal preference. You might want to, sorry, not that tip, this tip. So the coffee one is in this one, I'm doing the next one in this one, and you'll see that they actually look really different. And out of the two bags that I've tried tonight that I got from Ronnie's today, these ones are nicer. Disposable piping bag. Really good quality. Shame to use it only once. May be able to use it again if you want to wash it out. These ones split by the end. So I'd say they'd be really great for piping something a bit creamier. I'll use them for whipped soap. Yeah, these were lovely. I can't remember how much they were. Maybe the receipt's in the back. Hang on. Yes, it is. Okay, so they were Mondo disposable piping bag, $4.95 for 10. So that's not too bad, but I do suggest you still get silicone ones because they're going to last you a lot longer. Okay, so this consistency again. And so let's get it in the bag and start going. Okay, so our last candle, got our bag. Okay, now we're just gonna put the embeds in. Can't decide where to put the last one. Maybe next to the wick again. Alright. Put on our glitter. You don't have to do glitter. I just like it. Alright. And we're done, so I'll show you the end result for all of them. Okay, so this is them done. So you can tell the difference in what they look like. So this one's just going to have more of that kind of pattern to it, and this one is a lot more looser. Use whatever tip you want, does not matter. So yeah, there we go, done.